My fellow Nerdicans, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Jank Tank. Today we've got another gameplay video for you, and it is going to be Vegeta Spirit Boost Elite against, oh crap, what's Bardock's name? Bardock Inherited Will, that's the one. So Yellow Bardock versus Spirit Boost Vegeta. This is a match that we have had on the channel before, but we've both made pretty sizable changes to the decks since then, especially Tommy's Bardock deck. That thing's been changed a whole lot, especially since the new additions of the promo card as well as the Floodgate that just came out in the last set. So Tommy ended up going first, and he didn't have a whole lot that he could do, so he pitched a Fasha, just like he's doing now, to do his top 5 search. And I didn't have a whole lot to do either, as you can see, since I just charged, swung, and passed my turn. And for Vegeta, his alternate awakening is a little more difficult than Bardock's, because Bardock, you just have to have 4 different Bardock Screw card names in your energy, drop, or Z energy. So that's actually really easy for Bardock Screw to do. Oh yeah, it also counts on the field. I forgot about that. It counts field, energy, drop, and Z energy. And then Vegeta's alternate awakening is unison with specified cost of 2. So if you don't see that unison, you gotta go down to 4 life to be able to awaken. And full disclosure, I was not singing unison at this point, because initially what you want to do is you want to play your unison tune turn 2 awaken, which is going to restand you 2 energy, and then you're all set. But things just weren't going that easily for me, and you'll see, because I definitely have to start doing some digging, searching for that unison. So I go ahead and charge my energy, swing, draw, still not getting a unison, so I play a Whis to try and find a unison. Still no, so I grab Gohan. And because I do have the energy marker for going second, I am going to go ahead and play that Gohan out, because him and Whis do the same exact thing. Search top 5 for a Universe 7 with a 4 cost or less, or a 2 cost unison. And boom, there we see my unison. It would have been nice to see it at the beginning of the turn, but you know, sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. And it did actually end up feeling pretty good to be able to awaken on turn 3 and still have access to all that other stuff. And for those of you who don't know or didn't stop the video to read that Tora Ape that he has on the field, it does have blocker, and when it's in rest mode, your opponent cannot swing at your leader with battle cards. So it's kind of like a deadly defender, or half the cards in the U7 Goku archetype. So he goes ahead and swings in. I combo with the Gohan, but I do take the damage. And right there, yeah, I got a little mixed up and put the Whis into my Z energy instead of the Gohan for whatever reason, so I fixed that really quickly. Yeah, I've been working on this Spirit Boost Vegeta deck since it came out, because Vegeta is my favorite character, and when this deck came out, it was a whole lot of fun, especially considering the tools that we still had access to, like King Piccolo, New Ruler, and the Piccolo Jr. Unison. all those things that, well, the Piccolo Junior Unison we still have access to, but it's limited to one, which I honestly think can probably come back to a full set instead of just being limited to one, because there's so many cards that play out for 1, 2 energy, even freeze sometimes, that are above 15k, so you don't even have to worry about Piccolo. And that's the main reason why people didn't like the Piccolo Junior Unison, was because of its auto ability that when your opponent counters, you can KO a 15k or less. But with decks, for example, with decks like Bardock here, the vast majority of the cards in the deck, especially the ones that you actually play to the board, they're all 20k or higher, so Piccolo wouldn't even hit them at all. It would just be a nice option to have that Piccolo draw power instead of the one that I'm using. And I mean, I do like Mass saying, what is it? Avenger from Another Dimension, I think is what the Unison's called. I do like it because you do get to draw, so if you're playing against blue and your opponent's bottom decking things, you're not as likely to be completely losing access to those cards. So that is really nice, but it's also a little unfortunate because sometimes the card that you want to see would have been the next one you draw, and unfortunately you have to shuffle before you draw. The shuffle is not optional. It doesn't say that if you look through your deck, shuffle. It says look through your deck, place up to one drop in your drop area, then shuffle your deck. So you have to shuffle your deck every time, which is, like I said, it can be a little bit of a bummer when the card that you were waiting for would have been the next one that you draw, and then you just shuffle it away. But, you know, such is life. It happens sometimes. So Tommy's applying some pressure, and I didn't really want to use any counters this turn, but he kind of forced my hand and didn't really give me a choice in the matter. So now he's going to go ahead and play out his Bardock Ape, which allows him to bottom deck a card, draw a card, bottom deck a card, and then pay an energy, play out 2 apes from his deck with their skills negated for the turn. So as you can see right there in his energy, he has a skillless fascia, which is being run because of that Bardock. Because he just wants more apes, and he figures since they come in with their skills negated anyway, then it wouldn't hurt to have a skillless ape because you're not worried about his skills proccing or anything. But he didn't come across the other fascia because he is only running 2 copies in that deck, so he didn't come across the other fascia, which means it's there in his life, and he tries to swing in with the Bardock, and I Explosive Dance. Because like I said, I didn't really want to counter this turn, but he forced my hand twice. Made me use my Unending Awakening, Unending Awakening, as well as an Explosive Dance. And I was trying to hold on to that Explosive Dance because at this point in time, those were the only 2 counters in my hand. So I didn't really have a whole lot of options. So I go ahead and proc my Unison to shuffle and draw after I charge a Vegeta Spirit Mentor. Then I go ahead and swing at lead, which will proc my draw and allow me to give my Unison double strike. And then I super combo because I'm still digging for things that And then I finally find something that's going to help me because he has amassed a pretty large board, 5 apes on board. All of them, well, except for the blocker, all of them are 20k or higher. And he has 2 dual attackers, a double striker out there. So what I do is I go ahead and play the spaceship trio out from underneath my unison, and then I spirit boost 3, which is going to minus his entire board by 30k, and then give the trio triple attack, which is the main reason why I run it in this deck, is so I could have that large board wipe. It's not the only board wipe that I have in the deck, but it is the earliest one that I have access to, I believe. Yeah, because the other one costs 4. I was running the Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta Exploding Weakness counterplay, which is also a board wipe for anything that's 20k or less, but I found room in here for other cards, because I wanted to test out something that was a little more aggressive and a little less defensive, because anyone who's watched my channel or played against me in this game, which not very many people have. Most of my games are against Tommy. Every once in a while I do make it down to Reno to be able to compete at what I would consider my local shop, because that is the closest shop to me that does host Dragon Ball games. There are other shops between where I live and there, but none of those host Dragon Ball. It's all Pokemon or Magic the Gathering, which I don't have any qualms against. I love both of those games, but I am far more entertained by this game because I feel like it's far less one-sided, like Pokemon can be, as well as it being faster than Magic. And the main reason why I prefer this game over Magic is because you never really get stalled out in this deck, because you can't charge energy, or you're not seeing cards that you need to charge. Magic, you can get locked out of mana because you're just not drawing into it, and then that can just ruin the entire game. You could be playing the best deck, but if you don't see mana, you can't do anything. And that's why I prefer Dragon Ball over Magic, because any card, you can just charge it for energy. If a card is dead in your hand, then you charge it. And you cannot say the same thing for Magic. Sometimes in Magic, when a card is dead, it's just dead. And here, he swings and I counter with Unending Awakening. And since I'm out of energy now, I wouldn't be able to counter the next attack, because he was trying to proc his boss cards Activate Battle, that you can combo with something from underneath the boss card, and that will allow it to restand. So here, that's what he's doing, is he's comboing with the Tora to get the boss card to restand, and then he's proccing the leader's ability to also combo from drop. And since I Unending Awakening, I'm able to super combo and get out of that, since he was just swinging for 25, and the super combo got me up to 30. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he comes in for a fairly decent amount of pressure, because that Activate Battle is not a once per turn or limit one, so you can just do it as long as you have those cards underneath it. Kind of like the boss card for U7 Goku. As long as you have the Z energy to pop, you can just keep restanding it. And this is one of those times where it would have been nice to still have a testing the opposition in the deck. But because I'm running Explosive Dance, I'm actually not running the combination of Explosive Dance and Unending Awakening. I'm actually not... excuse me. That yawn came out of nowhere. I'm not running Testing the Opposition because I feel like I have enough defenses. But I was definitely holding my breath because I was really hoping that he wouldn't be able to apply enough pressure to take me out this turn. Because he does still have 2 open energy, and since his apes only cost 1 each to be able to play out, I was worried that he might play 1 and then save his last energy for defense, maybe. But it looks like that's not what he did. And here's a little bit of a mistake on my part coming up, because I did know that his leader had blocker, but I was unaware that it also had revenge. So I wasn't super worried about swinging because I didn't think about the fact that it had revenge, because I didn't know that it had revenge. So it goes ahead and kills both of our cards, and since he used the Floodgate, I'm not going to be able to swing anymore because I don't have any... Oh yeah, and this was in response to his Floodgate. And then I don't have any thing in rest mode that I'm willing to pop, because it does say that you can just pop cards in rest mode. It doesn't say that it has to be battle cards or anything like that. You just have to get rid of a card that's in rest mode. And oh yeah, he was thinking about using the Vegeta to counterplay with, and then he realized that he's floodgated because of the Bardock, and I let him take it back because it's not like a super serious game. I mean, he is in the lead right now, but I don't know. I always have, even when I'm losing, I always have confidence in Vegeta because it's just a super fun deck to play with, in my opinion. A lot of people like to run... excuse me. Oh, another yawn. Whoa, okay. A lot of people will actually run the red Bardock screw package behind Vegeta, and while yes, that is good, I don't know, I really like the thematic scheme of what I got going on right now, because there's very, very few cards in this deck that are not Universe 7. So there's defeating the demon that isn't a Universe 7, and then there's that the spaceship trio, that one's not Universe 7, and then I think the rest of the cards that aren't Universe 7 are just extra cards. So yeah, the vast majority of this well, extras and unisons, I guess I should say. So the vast majority of this deck is on theme, which I really like, honestly. I always try to keep my decks pretty thematic. There are a couple decks out there that you can just run super generic and they run pretty well, but I find that, especially in this day and age with the state of the game that it's in now, the thematic decks actually kind of do better because the more you can synergize off yourself and what you have available to you, the more benefits you can get from it. So it's actually pretty nice. So he's going to go ahead and swing in with his leader. I activate the blocker on my defeating the demon. And he's going to combo to get up to 20, and I'm going to let it go. And then he puts the Tor in his Z energy because since he's comboing with it from his drop using his leader's skill, it has its skills negated, so he cannot play it out using its ability. And here I'm just, I was looking at the extra card to see how many options I have, and if you notice, I did put that defeating the demon into my Z energy by mistake. Yep, and that's where I fix it right there. I'm like, wait a second, that's not where that goes. But I was more concentrated on figuring out how I'm going to try and make it out of whatever pressure that he brings me that I just didn't even notice that I put that into my Z energy instead of my drop. But then while all that was going on and I was babbling away, he tried to play another dual attacker, which I used another defeating the demon to minus it by 20k to get rid of it. And right here he was about to go and Z awaken, and I was like, wait a second, you're not at 3 life, you can't Z awaken yet. So he's like, oh, never mind, I guess I am not Z awakening. So he's gonna go ahead and untap the one that he tapped. Alright, so it goes ahead and passes turn. Let's see, this is turn 6, it looks like. So there we go, I was proccing my Unison's ability, and then I counted what was in my drop area because I'm trying to see how many U7s I have in my drop area, and I believe it's 1 right now, maybe. But I go ahead and play a copy of Pure Blood Sparking, which is going to minus his Shugesh off the board, and when that happens, since the card that was minus got removed from the board, the Vegeta gets double strike until the end of the turn. So I swing with my lead, he takes the damage. And I go ahead and swing for 30 double strike. He chooses to counter with the Floodgate, but the floodgate doesn't actually stop the attack, so I combo with Frieza Imperial Inspiration, which gives my leader, or not my leader, a battle card or my leader, but since I'm swinging with the battle card, it gives it critical. So now it's 30 dual attack, double strike, crit. The crit is only for the battle. But yeah, so it's 30 double strike crit, and then I comboed up to make it 55, so he has to get to 60, which he's attempting to do right now. And then he's gonna combo with everything. At first he thought he wasn't gonna make it out of it, and then he realized he could combo with the Bardock, and that literally gets him out of it. And then I'm reminding him that I'm floodgated, and then I recall, like, oh yeah, it doesn't have to be a battle card that I pop when I swing, it just has to be a card. So I choose an energy, and that concludes the video. Go ahead and smash that like button, comment, and subscribe, and stay nerdy.